Good morning. My name is Elizabeth de Vries. I am what they call an evolutionary astrologer. I am an intuitive medium, and I'm also an artist, and I work a lot as a healer. I work a lot with people and with animals as a healer, um, being given the gift to see into the body. I'm not obviously allowed to make diagnoses because I'm not a medical doctor, but I can give suggestions and insights. So sometimes people will call me when they've adopted a dog from the shelter and they want to know the dog's history. What happened to it? Why does it have certain fears? Why does it have certain proclivities? And I will have a conversation with the animal or with the person, and we will create clarity and give a history of the dog's life and what it suffered and how to specifically treat that animal. So I work with every type of animal. I work with horses for 50 years of my life. I've worked with dogs since I was 3 years old, and cats and birds and you name it. It's been in our house, squirrels, everything. So what I wanted to do today, I've been sitting for a few weeks just contemplating in solitude what's going on in America, how we cope, where is it heading, what is the direction, are we at a turning point? My feeling is that last week was a turning point for the country, that the death of Renee Nicole Good, it turned a corner for the country, and that a lot of people woke up last week. I briefly got a message when I was lying in bed the night she passed, excuse me, to look up the meaning of her name. So I looked up the name Renee, and it meant rebirth, reborn in spirit. Nicole was related to the will of the people, the impression, the gift, the imprint of the people, and good being the psychological good, the respect, the positivity, the impact of light, good containing the word God. It's an inherent sense of knowing the right path to take. So if you took her name and put it together, you would get that we are, as a people, the will of the people is being reborn into spirit for the good of the all. And I thought that was just incredible. It was so prophetic. But I really want to go into where do we go from here. The first thing I want to say is that we've got to stop the divisiveness. Obviously, when we're united as a country or as a family or united within our own being, between our shadow self and our conscious mind, when we find that union within, we're able to move forward and accomplish positive expressions of our life. When we are divided, we fail. We fail miserably. So the goal of those in positions of high power and money and corporate power is to keep us divided. So instead of having an incident like we had last week and dealing with that incident from a state of the president stepping forward with comfort and words of wisdom and let's draw together as a country and not fight amongst each other, he increased the divisiveness. So I would like to draw a card on from Rumi. It's a deck from Rumi, put together by Alana Fairchild. It's a most beautiful deck. The images in it are created by a wonderful American artist called Rasuli, who lives in Los Angeles. And so we're going to choose a card of what is the advice right now for us as a people within a country that is in conflict and turmoil and distress. What is the card that would come forth for us at this time? So, the card I've chosen is called the Cosmic Heart. This is the card, the Cosmic Heart. So let's see what that has to say. It's number 8, which is a number of power. So I would say the self-empowerment is coming through the heart. We must never forget our heart. Our heart knows. Our heart is our connection to our incredible soul. Our body, our mind, our spirit lives within our soul. And our soul infuses us with life force from divinity. And that's what keeps us alive at the subatomic level in our cells. So what does the cosmic heart say? I was dead. I became alive. I was in tears. I became laughter. The power of love arrived and made me everlasting power. I've seen everything. I have no fear. I have the heart of a lion. I shine like truth. So, that's pretty clear. And it is not a surprising answer that I would expect to be shown, because at this time we're walking a very fine line of not being indifferent to what's happening, not being in fear of what's happening, but how do we act? How do we move forward? How do we confront violence and lies and this sense of powerlessness? And it's saying to go back to the power of the heart, to go back to the power of love. Now, I was writing on someone's page this morning that to go to the power of love does not mean that we are oblivious to what's going on, or that we don't stand up in the face of injustice. If you're a Christian, if you think of Christ himself overturning the tables of the money changers in the temples, we are looking at power-hungry money changers right now. He didn't stand there and dissolve in front of that. He stepped forward and turned the tables over and shouted and stood his ground. So we cannot back away. We cannot be turning our eyes the other way and thinking, well, if I just hide away and do nothing, I'll be safe. No, we won't be safe. We will actually be giving up our power. And so we each need to speak our truth in the way that is most comfortable for our heart. So not everybody will be out in the streets protesting. They may be calling their Congress or their senator, or making sure they vote, or writing about it on social media, or speaking to friends, and instead of getting in argument, asking people, why are you still supporting something so corrupt, so evil in our society. We need to speak. We have a voice, we need to speak. But the power of the wisdom of our heart, there's an old saying, let the intelligence of the mind surrender to the wisdom of your heart. Again, this card was saying the heart knows. The heart knows and will direct you in every second how to respond to what we're dealing with right now. So the money changers turning the tables or speaking, he could not stand liars and hypocrites. That was he spoke out very strongly and with a lot of fire about liars and hypocrites, and that's what we're facing right now. A lot of lying. We saw last week what happened right in front of our eyes on 6 different videos, and yet we were told to behave and to understand that the violence was created by the people. So we need to have courage right now. We need to have incredible courage. We need to have incredible compassion. We need to help our neighbor. We need to stop thinking of red and blue. And we need to think about the fact that we are going up against power-hungry oligarchs that are using us as pawns in our country in order to maintain control and to gain more money for themselves, more power over others. I tell you that if we protest and if we stand up without going into violence, but increasing in numbers and standing by our fellow man, it's like Renee's mate said, we had whistles, they had guns. Think about that. So I'm going to draw a card on where I think the country is heading over the next 3 months. Where are we heading? What's coming up in the next 3 months? Let's take it to the end of March. By the end of March, we will have Saturn and Neptune, who are in the final stages of water sign Pisces. We'll have it move into Aries. It's like the beginning of a new era. And it's fire, it's cardinal, so it's very restless. Fire, it's impetuous, it's combative, it's ruled by Mars. It is brave, it is individualistic. I feel it will bring, everything's going to speed up in the country. Everything is going to accelerate. We've already felt, just since January 1st, incredible acceleration of what we're doing wrong in the world. I feel there will be people standing up and saying enough. By that time, enough. And that will increase over the next 2.5 months. The numbers that will protest, the numbers that will speak up. We have turned a corner, and I feel Renee Nicole Good, she helped us turn that corner. Her martyrdom created a wake up, a slap in the head to wake up and stop allowing yourself to be deluded or stubborn in hanging by belief systems that in your gut, in your heart, you know are inhumane. Where are we heading? How beautiful. card of spiritual love. So when I see that card, that is such a beautiful card. It is other realms offering us love and support. There are so many of the hierarchy of the divine realms surrounding the earth right now, and they will not allow us to destroy this earth. They will step in. We may think we're so powerful with all our nuclear warfare and all of our warsome proclivities, but they are stronger than us, and they will step in. They will not let us do this, because if we blow up our earth, our Gaia, our precious mother who's feeding us, and to whom we will return when we die, that will upset the whole balance and harmony of the entire universe. So that will not be allowed. They've told me that. It will not be allowed. But we could get to the brink of that. But I feel that this is saying, we're here for you, we love you, we will not allow that to happen. Love will prevail. I don't want to sound new agey, cushy, that everything's going to be fabulous then. They're offering us love. And if I look down at the ocean, I see waves on the ocean. I see the dove above the cup, the dove of peace is saying, it's all right, we are going to return to peace. Now, that's not saying when, but it's saying where we are heading. We are going to return to peace. Another card. We are on, this is a card of learning. It's a card of information. We are in a time of incredible undressing of who people really are. People call it the Emperor's New Clothes period. We're going to be stripped naked of our artifice. Those that are chameleons will be exposed. Those that are lying for the sake of power and money and fame, they will be exposed. They are being exposed. So we're going to learn an enormous amount. Are the Epstein files going to be released? I doubt if all of it will be released. But I think there will be a lot more released, a lot more redactions. The diversionary tactics that are being used right now by making us look at Venezuela or Minneapolis or any other place, at Greenland. This is all part of a plan to make sure that we get our eyes off the Epstein files, because at the core of the Epstein files there are layers and layers of corruption beyond pedophilia. What else is coming over the next few? So we're going to get a lot of knowledge. We're going to be offered consolation and the power of love supported from other realms. And we will feel it. We will feel that coming into our bodies. We will feel that many of us are having trouble sleeping, or we're feeling energetic shifts, and our nervous systems are tremendously on edge right now. So I'm advising you all to take a lot of oils right now for the nervous system, because it's the nervous system that's being affected most of all. And so take really great olive oil, a really great coconut oil, raw flaxseed oil. These are all going to coat the nerve endings in your body and seal them and bring consolation and comfort to your body as you go through these incredibly accelerated transitions. And we're all going through it. And I'll draw one more card and I'll leave it for now, but I'm going to start doing more videos because I'm getting so many messages. I'm so thrilled to see this card. This is a card of spiritual truth. And if you look at it, it's piercing a crown. And I take that, and there is no king. There will be no king. The truth will prevail. This is a card of, for God's sake, align with your own integrity and stop compromising who you are to please others, to keep everything cushy, or to avoid the truth. This is the card of truth. If you remember in the time of King Arthur, when the Lady of the Lake put her arm up with the sword of truth and gave that sword to King Arthur. This is a time we must align ourselves with our own integrity, the body, with our heart, with our Holy Spirit. We must align. We must stop the nonsense of fudging things and convincing ourselves that things are not that bad. And we need to keep our eyes open and look at what's going on and align with our truth, because if we stay in full alignment, we are standing in our full power and we can emanate from our heart unconditional love. Stop looking at people and classifying them under labels. I've heard the word narcissist overused 100 times in the last month. Are there narcissists out there? Yes, we're being led by one. But is everyone a narcissist because they don't agree with what we think and what we do and how we live? No. We need to learn to listen, deeply listen in our hearts to why other people feel differently. Why did they choose the path they chose? Why are they supporting MAGA? Listen with your heart. Instead of arguing, we need to both sides listen and unite for the good of the country. Remember, Renee Nicole Good, the rebirth of the spirit for the will of the people, for goodness. This is my message for today, and my heart is crying out for all of you, and especially for the children all over the world. This is not just the United States, it's everywhere. We've cut off our aid to the starving in Africa. We are doing genocide in Gaza. Everywhere. Bombing Syria. People are trembling in Venezuela, not knowing which way to turn. There's so much corruption there. Iran. I could name on and on. India, the different factions in India, Pakistan. Let's remember this card. Let's ask that our hearts are filled to the brim with unconditional love, but at the same time, clarity and wisdom to act in the way that our soul came here to act. We came here for these times, all of us. It's no accident you're here right now. It's no accident I, who am a Canadian, cannot even go back to my own country because they might not let me back in even though I'm legally here. We must listen to our heart and our wisdom and become so clear. And the only way we can become clear is to step away from watching this 24/7, but we do need to be informed. We don't need to be ignorant and sitting on a fence and being lukewarm. We need to know what we're fighting, what's going on, and how we are going to bring balance and harmony and love back. But at the same time, we will be called to action in some form or another. So think about how you wish to contribute and look out for your neighbor. Do you think when somebody comes to my house for a healing that I ask them if they're Democrat or Republican when they've got 4th-stage cancer? All I think is to alleviate their suffering, to open their heart, to soothe them, to become a conduit for the light of God. That's what we all need to become now. We need to link arms with everyone and become conduits for the divine source itself. Listen to your heart. Open your eyes. Allow your intuition to give you guidance. Should I drive down this street today? Should I go to that store today? Where is the greatest safety? I had to sit with my son Andre and explain to him about ICE, and yet, because he's schizophrenic, be very careful I don't put fear in him. I had to enlighten him about our country without making him fear-ridden, because he has such a highly developed nervous system. So we need to reassure each other, and if someone around you is frightened that day, go put your arms around them and divert yourselves from watching all this and be alone. Go into solitude and ask your heart to speak to you, and then listen to your heart. Listen to your soul. Every day I say these words: God and I are one. My higher self and I are one. I offer up my body, I offer up my hands, I offer up my heart to Gaia herself and to all of the inhabitants on Gaia, man and beast, and trees and flowers, and the ocean, and the air, and the blessed earth that feeds us. Thank you for listening.